10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello everyone, hope you are all doing great and safe at your end. Welcome to the day 5 of pre-hackathon speaker session. Hack This Fall is hosting live workshops, talks, discussions, and have already started from 26th October and will end today. You can check out our website for the complete schedule. Now coming on to the speaker session. How do you contain water and build a museum around it when your planet is 70% water and you are just acquiring 30% of the planet? An idea emerged by PhD Sara Ahmed in Ahmedabad, India, to have built the water museum where one could find stories related to different water bodies and all kind of resources around water. After doing a lot of research on technology, Next.JS got the suited best technology to build such an amazing platform for this purest idea. After fighting all odds and issues, we have developed a whole museum using Next.js. And with that being said, let me introduce you all to our speakers for the session. We have Shah joining us.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank
Hello,
you,
Harsh.
David.
So he's a self-taught full-stack developer currently working at startup called Pedalsup as a CTO. He's community contributor and organizer of GDG Cloud Ahmedabad and Pydata Ahmedabad. He's a 2 times GSoC-er under the organization Wikimedia and KDE. He was also a part of the MIT Media Lab India Initiative 2015. He is also an active open source contributor, tech speaker, and a hackathon freak. We welcome you, Harsh, and look forward to your talk. The virtual stage is all yours.
Thank you, David. Yeah. So I hope everyone is doing good in like this pandemic. Thank you, this fall for giving this opportunity to share some of my knowledge about what is Next.js and how we developed and how we adopt Next.js for like build of world first water museum. So let me start introducing myself. So about me, I think Nivesh told us. I'm a CTO currently. I'm CTO at Pedalsup with a small startup company. We are a bunch of crazy developers who help different startups. Also, we are building a product for ourselves. I'm a 2-time GSoC-er. I work with Media Lab India Initiative. I work with this for the 2 projects in research. I also work with PyCon communities. I also do internship at my college level at PyCon ACPC Taiwan. I also work with like big organizations like Wikipedia, KDE, Elementor, Page Builder. I also work as a technical developer at a Elementor team for like few months. And I'm also a community freak, so I love to organize like events, communicate with people, like share knowledge and all that. So I handle 2 community in Ahmedabad, GDG Cloud and Pydata. And yeah, I love to like contribute in open source projects. I always try to encourage people to like do some open source contribution because it's help to like grow your CV. Also, it's help to grow as a developer. Also, you understand what is the current industry standards, and that's why I encourage all the people to contribute at open source. So today what we're going to cover. So I'm going covering what is the basic Next.js and why do I use Next.js for this project, why our team decide that we not go for other framework and why Next.js. And then we go to the live demo, what we build. I'm going to show you the 2 different version of Water Museum currently live. And then you can ask if you have any questions in the last. So yeah, so this is one of my favorite quotes, like first solve the problem, then write the code. So always not start writing code before understanding the problem. A lot of people do is like they only write the code, but they don't understand the problem and they gonna stuck at some point. So always try to solve the problem, solve thoroughly, and try to like divide into like some chunks and then try to code it because it helps and save you a lot of time and finally it is very better than the when you start without solving the problem. So let's go and start. So yeah, so I think a lot of people heard about what is Next.js. Before like introducing what is Next.js, I think in like 2020, most of the popular front-end framework are React, Vue, and Angular. And one of the most favorites currently, most of the people are using is React. So React is one of the favorite 2020 go-to framework for front-end development. And under that, like JavaScript is a like we can get like a React community came together and they build one of the top frameworks on the React.js and they call it Next.js. So Next.js is a complete full stack framework for the like modern apps. It's built by like ex React team members. The bunch of like 5 or 6 members came together and they build Next.js and they call them Team Vercel. Vercel is like full-time dedicated startup or which we call a company who behind the Next.js idea, and they use React and they choose React libraries, and based on that they build full Next.js framework. Okay, so what is the reason why we go for Next.js and why we not go for like React or like Gatsby or like Angular or Vue or anything? So yeah, I'm using for one of the main reason is like I'm like using React.js from like 3 years thoroughly. Before that, I'm using Angular 1.5, Angular 2. But when I shifted to Angular to React, I love this this library, and I like start also contributing into that core team. I also contributed then native language changes like localization, and after that I never gonna use Angular for any project. I mostly use React with a lot of other libraries. I mix and match React with uh, like Next, Gatsby, Hugo, a lot of things. So main reason go for Next.js is like these are the top 5 reasons which I conclude. One is like background about then performance, on development experience, deployment, and community. So we're gonna go one by one. So background. So I think let's assume that JS is a one of our operating system. Let's assume that JavaScript is like Linux, and assume that in Linux we need some application to run our code or our like operate any or preview any picture, or you want to edit your doc file or sheets or anything. So React is the framework which like Linux is a system. So React is like software which is run on the Linux system, and in React based on that in like software we have like some add-ons called we have like add-on for like our doc file or add-on for our any software. This thing called as Next.js and Gatsby. So understand the flow of from the JavaScript. They created React.js, and from top of the React.js they created a Next.js, Gatsby, and a lot of other static site generative frameworks. So the main reason why we choose Next.js, because what happened in React is only give us the client-side rendering. Okay, and what happened in client-side rendering is like if we want to like speed up and like divide into chunk and run modular coding, we need to write a lot of other files, a lot of configuration, and it's take a lot of time. So Next.js team come up with a great idea and they provide us both the opportunities. You can also run your app at server side, and also you can run your uh, website at client side rendering. So you can run your web application both the way. If some code is like you want to render at server side, you can render at server side, and some code of your code of your project, you want to run like some of the code from client side. So yeah, so but one of the best example for like client side rendering is like I think everybody's used Facebook app, and which the timeline you see is basically rendering from the client side. So basically, Facebook team developed whole React.js framework and they adopted like fully, and they build whole timeline function. And so when so so the team decided that they want this timeline render from the client side. So this is one of the best example if you want to learn or if you want to understand what is client side rendering. Facebook timeline is one of the best example. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to performance. Okay. So performance is a major reason to choose any framework. If you are like building any app or any web app or simple like HTML CSS site, you always think like my site load or my app gonna load in like seconds, not gonna take like more than 10 seconds, or you want to try to like is below 5 seconds if this app you are building. So like Dan is one of the like founder member of React.js team, and he also built Redux. If you heard about Redux library, so Redux is built by Dan. Dan is like just like our age, and is like crazy guy. So one of the he's tweet like when he gonna try next first time, he loved it and he tweeted like uh, so in basically React or Angular, you need to create route files for every files which you want to render or you want to add. In Next.js, simply you need to add new page. Then no need to add any list of routes, no need to add any route file. And oh wait, it's basically what happened is page automatically itself is a route, and it's render like a normal page, uh, normal HTML CSS page with like JS and other libraries which we build on of that. So that's why the Next is our favorite, because we don't need to like write down any kind of route file. We like if you imagine if also we need to like prioritize our private routes, and we need to like restrict to user that before login it's not gonna enter to any page. We don't need to like create a private route files and browser routes, and we need to like middleware for that. It's simply you go to the pages folder, simply you create a file for sign up or sign in, and simply you put one condition, and it's like that. You don't need to create any route and any other libraries. And also it's like hybrid approach for us, like before we talk like server side rendering and client side rendering. So this help us to like scale over performance, because when we are creating this water museum, the design is very complex. Okay, I'm going to show in like in few minutes, but design is very complex, and we have some we when we see the UI first time, we thought like how we can achieve this UI in React or Angular, because uh, like writing a CSS and like writing a lot of JavaScript. Basically, we think like we need a jQuery for it, but what happened is like window function is not supported in Next. Okay, hopefully they gonna add after like a new release. But there are a lot of plugins which you can or I can use for like solve this issue. But and then we figure out Next is the best fit for us to write JavaScript and CSS both together. Okay, so yeah, and one of the best reason is like Webpack. So the whole server configuration build for Next is based on Webpack 5 basically. So Webpack 5 is very very good improvements the team gave us. The more power to the user. Also the build file handling. Also they are also handling our poly files. They are also handling our file systems very easily. And when you like try to build your application, the chunks which created after the building is gonna like divide into smaller parts, so your build size is very small, and this gonna help you to like uh, not take a much server space and also try to run faster with small servers. So this is one of the reason we choose Next. So let's move to the like developer experience. Okay, so we already talked about what the background behind Next.js and what is the performance. Okay, in performance, also either one of the two go-to command or the go-to library I have personally, my favorite is like get static path and get static props. That are one of the two functions. Auto library is the one of the my favorite because this helped me a lot of ways to like create paths or using props. Like props is called properties to use like one file to another file. These two built-in libraries are very easy to use, and you can like go through with it. You don't need to like create any Redux store or any Movex store. Yeah. So so let's look at this image. I think if everybody is visible, yes. So one of the best developer experience what I get from Next is like if I write something wrong or I like write it something silly, is like pop up with some this is pop up with some dialog box in it, and it's already tell me that this line is not working, or this is the error, or there's like syntax error, or you are importing wrong library, spelling is wrong or something, or anything goes wrong, like if my config file is not working. So this is one of the great reason it's giving me a pop-up with the complete line, which line is breaking, where the code is breaking. And this is one of the great developer experience from our side because I use a lot of frameworks before and also currently, and the experience of this kind of like debugging and pop-up error tool is currently not in other systems. So that's why I love Next. Also in Next, like if you want to connect any CSS files or SAS files, or you just want to like if you are like not familiar, don't want to use JavaScript, you want to use TypeScript, so you don't need to go and config whole configuration file, or you don't need to add anything into it. You just need to go to the your Next.js projects and just need to uh, like put .js to .ts. Is basically TS stands for the TypeScripts, and it's automatically convert your whole thing into TypeScript. You can write easily your code in TypeScript. And like after 9.5, they also get started supporting to MDX. If you're not familiar with what is MDX, go and check it out. This is the one of the great like go-to scripting things for like 2020. So I also use MDX in some of my projects, or I'm also building my site through MDX. MDX is basically markup language and JavaScript language mix up. So you can write markup with like simple JavaScript on HTML code, and it's basically convert your whole MDX file into with help of Babel is basically into HTML and CSS. So MDX is one of the coolest mix-up by developers. You can use markup with the simple JavaScript. Okay. Sorry. So in development, one of the great experience which I found is like our major task or our major issue with this building whole museum, what a museum web app or website is CSS. The in first version, I'm gonna show you that we write a whole like more than like 4,000 line of CSS by ourselves. We not copy pasted even a single line from any code or any library. We write it down each and every 4,000 line by ourselves because design is very complex and there's no vertical scroll in whole website. There's only horizontal scrolls in websites. The major issue with the design and with development is like how we can manage to like responsive design in each and every screens with the horizontal scroll. The major issue what we faced, and that's why we write out like 4,000 lines of like media queries and normal CSS and like sliders and a lot of other libraries. But after a like long research and like the version 2 UI came to us, and I'm thinking like I need to cut down like to go to like at least 20 to 30% because it's taking too much time to render and too much time to load. Also, is not behaving right in some of the screens. So that's why I use Tailwind CSS. Tailwind is like my currently go-to CSS framework. I love Tailwind because it's like easy to like if you want to implement an any framework, and you don't need to worry about like writing whole bunch of CSS. It's basically giving the lot of easiness to write any kind of CSS. Okay, there are also some of the limitations in like Tailwind, but a lot of like my 80% work time saved by Tailwind. So this is the link if you want to like check it out, Tailwind and Next.js boilerplate. Okay, so this is the created by whole Tailwind team. I also contributed in Tailwind CSS team for like some of the examples and some of the core like issues solving. So if you not check it out ever, what is Tailwind CSS, go and check it out. You will love with that, I'm sure. And this is the boilerplate. If you want to like just clone it and it's gonna run, it's already configured boilerplate. And if you don't know what is boilerplate, boilerplate is basically a bunch of plugins or what we call import libraries. With the ready-made library, you just need to like shoot one command and it's ready for you. So if you don't know how to configure your webpack, you don't know how to configure your service files or Babels, don't. So it's not worry. There are a lot of boilerplates available. You can simply download it or clone it, and yeah, you can go with it. Okay, deployment. So deployment is a major issue sometimes, and what happens is like people think that only Vercel can deploy Next.js. You can only deploy on Vercel. That's the wrong assumption by people. Vercel is a company who introduced Next.js, and definitely they have their own servers to deploy, and they are giving a lot of insights and a lot of easiness to deploy any Next.js application. But like if you see current the machine learning website of Apple, it's currently built on Next.js, and they self-hosted the Next.js uh, website. Also, you can use Netlify, or you need a simple node server to deploy your Next.js. Or like if you don't want to do this and you want to like simply like get your build static build and you want to deploy on your self-hosting, just run simple command next export is basically create a folder called out. Like in some of the framework, this is called a disk or build. In Next, they call out, and out has whole your static files, HTML static files, and you can deploy on any kind of server, static like VPS or like shared hosting. You can use anything. Okay, so last one is community. My community is very important. And in like since 2013, I'm into the communities, and community helped me a lot to learn, and I get explore a lot of opportunity from the community. So if you are not into community, please do some community work, voluntary work, build your network, because network gonna help you to achieve your goals at some point. And network also help you to like build some relationship which help you to achieve your goals. So in Next.js, the community is like they're the full-time contributors. They're the bunch of 5 people team, if I'm not wrong. Last time what I checked is like five people team who is like fully dedicatedly contributing Next.js code. Also, there are a lot of community developers like me, like you, like us, who's helping to Next.js to like make better and better. Also, one of the like founder member is from React core team, so he knows in and out what is React, and that's why they choose React for top of the library for Next.js. And also the core team members and the React team core team members and the Facebook developer core team members are also helping the community to grow. And that's one of the GitHub discussions going on for Next.js. Mm, if you want to check it out, you definitely go and check it out. The GitHub discussion is pretty like very active. They give you like answers like that. And you love the like discussion going on there. So yeah. And this is some of the bonus tips, some of the bottom bonus like. So in like 2 days before, 2 or 3 days before, Next.js has their own conference. It's the first time they are organizing the conference, and due to the pandemic, this is an online conference, and they launched this two amazing thing. The Next.js Analytics is basically work like Lighthouse, which Google has, and this is for the Next.js website. It's very good. I tried it out for my Next.js applications. And go and check it out this if you want to, if you build any next application. And this is the Next.js e-commerce. There's a great great e-commerce frameworks they come up with, and is the easiest any framework. You need to download it and just put your data, and it's ready to deploy your first e-commerce in like seconds. And they have a lot of functionality currently they are building on it, but they have in like first version they have like you can add your own like categories tags, you can add your products. You also currently they are not supporting all the payment gateways, but they have like PayPal, Stripe, and all of that, and you can create like a lot of custom logins. So this is a great e-commerce Next.js framework. They launched it 2 to 3 days ago. You definitely go and check it out. These two things. And yeah, so let's move into like we are talking about what is modern museum, and then let's move to modern museum. So I hope this is okay. Everybody can see. So this is the first version of modern museum which we built. So this is basically the design. So every time like you refresh this page, what happens is the background image can't change. So this is one of those CSS thing. We not rendering this background image from the like we're not using any image tag here. We are just rendering from CSS. And when you click to explore, this is how it looks basically. There's the whole animations here. There's a fully customized animations written in pure CSS and with Next help of Next. This is dot CSS is written in CSS by us. There's a whole update section. There's a blog section. We use third-party CMS to integrate it with the Next.js. There's also great feature given by Next.js. You can use headless CMS. A lot of headless CMS already available in the market, and you can use. We use one of them, and also we have our own dashboard which update this all things. Okay, when you click on this, is take you the story. So basically, idea of whole what a museum is like. The team behind researching this is like Ahmedabad University team, and they are basically exploring a lot like uh, whatever sources or what a museum or like vows and other things which are we don't know mostly, and they are try to like preserve that data and try to encourage to people go the places like explore those places and try to get knowledge about our history. So as you can see, this is the horizontal scroll. Like this is one of the biggest issue we face. Also, this is like full screen horizontal. Okay, and we like what do I need? Yeah, yeah. So this is one of the great examples of horizontal scroll. If you want to scroll like this is the whole data coming from backend. This is a whole rendering happening from server side. Okay, uh, and this is what helping us to render data very fast, because we try to run it in client side and we are facing a lot of problem to like fetch the data and render it to the front end side. This is the whole system. Also, we build this curve slider. This can change the whole thing. We also like, so these are the whole static files, simple files. Okay, there are no routes. We use dynamic paging. So if you like, I put on explore. This is one of the good horizontal scrolling. The things like these are the whole bubbles. So like we are trying. The UI is basically like try to keep it water in mind. So there's like one bubble, there's a small bubble, there's small other small bubble. The whole thing rendering from like whole CSS, we write whole CSS for it, and how it's all the stories, all the data looks like. Okay, and also there is a lot of map views here. So you can see whole the data from map views. Okay, whatever. Mm, okay. So this is the first version which we built for ourselves. There are a lot of other things here, but I think like time is, I think I'm more than 3 minutes. So this is some of the oldest thing we built such, and this is a newer version which we are currently building on Next 9.5. I'm gonna upgrade to today or tomorrow, maybe on 10. And this is much faster. This is like I reduce 16 files from it. I reduce more than a 40% of CSS code using Tailwind, and also customizing from Tailwind. We reduce 40% of code of CSS code. This is one of the sliders we are currently building. This is our whole new UI. This is currently in building phase. We are building it currently. So this is one of the new UI which we are implementing for this, all of the things. And this is one of the greater than fastest loading projects from our side in Next.js. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Go and check it out this projects, and like if you have any questions, we can move to like questions and Q&A part. So
Thanks, Harsh, for this great session. And I can say that it was an amazing website. If you have the link, then please share it in the comment sections.
okay, I can share older ones, but I cannot share the new ones because it's on staging site, and we are currently like working on it. It takes some of the like we're estimating like in next week we're gonna deliver the fully version of like 2.0, and yeah, so we are estimating that time. Now let's hope for the best. Yeah,
Our attendees would be happy to see the website.
yeah,
So now let's see if we have some questions.
okay.
So We have a question from Akhil. Aren't there Webpack updates that can create issues with older projects?
Okay, so what happened? Like Akhil, right?
Yeah,
The guy, yeah. So then what happened? Like if you are like using React or Angular, and when then you try to upgrade your Webpack, it definitely create a problem because your config gonna change, your plugins library versions are gonna update, and just create a lot of problem. But what happened in Next? I just simply go to my packet.json file and I just simply need to change my version, and it's not giving me any problem because all thing is handled by Next.js framework. They built in implemented Webpack, so if I can also use Webpack plugins and library functions in my Next.js config file, but it's not going to break my anything to my Next.js project. That's why I love Next configuration files, that they don't break anything if the version new version came and I try to update it.
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So if we so we have another question. Can a PWA be made with Next.js?
Yeah. So this is a great question. Yeah. So I try to build a PW in Next.js and I face the hell amount of issue. Okay. I try to figure it out and I finally make one boilerplate. I can share with you the boilerplate. But there is also one issue with the Chrome. Okay. So the issue is when you are in development phase, your application constantly refresh. Okay. When you're building PW with Next, there's the one issue with the Chrome browser. I already raised the issue with the Chrome team. I have a good connect with the Chrome team. I know Paul and Surma and all the big guys who are building Chrome. So I directly approach them and try to like explain what is happening with PWA Next. But currently, the issue in team gonna review and they prioritize they want to fix or not. But in deployment, I don't face any issue. But in development, I've faced this issue because if I try to write some code and they refresh my terminal every time, and what happened is like I have a Mac, but is Mac gonna hang sometimes? So this is one of the biggest issue I face in Next PWA.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
So we have another questions from Karthik. That is, her sir, how to become a two-time GSoC-er? Please help, sir.
Okay. So there is no book on no
We also have an addition that any tips and suggestions for students to clear GSoC.
Okay, so what happened like before pandemic, we organized one workshop, like we want to crack GSoC because I have a dream that this time at least like 50 people came from Gujarat because every time what I see is like Gujarat students are not in GSoCs. Okay, and main thing is like GTU students are not in GSoC. Okay, the major reason behind this whole workshop. So in like Jan or Feb, we organize whole GSoC thing. And the main thing to crack GSoC is like your open source contributed to a particular organization. Okay. So and the building proposal. Proposal is a very important thing. So I can share some of the few examples which I personally made for myself and also from other, which helped me to like crack two time. And and before that, I'm also like active contributor and active community volunteering from for the organization which has like got selected. Like for Wikimedia, I write some of the scripts in Python at that time. I also contributed for the local projects. I helping them to create Wikimedia pages. Okay, and that's helped me to like lead to like crack my GSoC for Wiki. For KD, I never contributed. First of all, that it's happened me like I choose the project which is pending from like more than 2 or 3 years, which is like building whole IRC protocol. There are a lot of research and research paper you need to read and build whole protocol. Like you need to know about TCP. So think about how TCP gonna build, what is the reason behind TCP. I also need to think to how what is IRC and how IRC going to help. What is the protocol? What are the protocol engines? I can implement how it's work on all browsers, whole system. So I choose that topic and I got lucky because I do a lot of research for like 3 4 months. I build whole engine for it, and this helped me to like lead to my second GSoC mostly in KD. So one of my great advice is try to stick to one organization, contribute for them, build network connection with the mentors in a particular organization. Um, and like the mentor gonna help you after that. You don't need to worry. Like if you're contributing from like last 6 months, well, mentor gonna help you to build proposals and tell you these are the projects you want to work on for like next summer of code or anything. So these are my tips. Contribute and try to build network.
These were really good tips. And we also have one more question, that is, nice project. Are the stories about water being updated by the locals or somebody else who is uploading the content?
No. So currently there are the research team behind whole the things. So there are the like 15 people who are currently doing research. All are from the NIDs and SEPT, and they are pursuing their masters and PhD. They go to the particular places, they research about whole things, and then they curated whole the stories with photographs and videos, and then the team of our from there they upload whole the stories. So we can open for they can open for like people contribution, but what happened like when people came to the portal, they messed up the data, and they like some of the people like put some of like unnecessary data. So they keep it to their particular team, dedicated team, and they only research and then they put the stories.
So we have another question from Karthik. Harsh sir, when and where are you speaking about next? When and where are you speaking next?
So my next talk in like 13 November, my day before Diwali. So this is a global talk in cross-platform application global React talk. I can share the links in my social media, or I can give you the links and you can spread it. So to talk about animations and micro interaction in React.js application. If you love to understand what is micro interaction, what is design thinking, what is design systems, you can come and you can enjoy the whole talk. So yeah, so my next talk on 13 November.
Best of luck for the talk, and we'll be there to cheer you up.
Yes.
So now we can say that this session is right now live, and some hackers might not be able to join this session. But as the recording is going to be available for all others, if they will have any questions, they'll ping you on Discord channel in the Ask Speaker channel. So please do have a look as and when you get time. Thanks a lot, Harsh. It was indeed a great session, and we had a lot to gain.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I also have one question from my side. So this was some. Do fill out the feedback form shared in the chat section, and it will also be used to assign the certificate for this session. It will be only for 15 minutes and won't be reopened again. Thanks a lot everyone who joined us today. Don't forget to subscribe the channel so that you can get the updates for all the workshops coming up ahead. Stay tuned. Hope to see you in the next session. Stay safe. Take care.